Why would I even get the Goblin Builder if I have 5 Builder Huts already? Hello, I'm back. We're doing the Killer series again. Yay, Killers! If you watched my intro for my Jason video, then you know that I was planning on making a video called Every Killer Skin Explained. But I decided to segment it off into parts. This meant that this Coolkidd video was pretty much done. Like, I already finished editing this video a while ago. This means that the gameplay is kind of outdated. And maybe my script is. I did rewrite some new things now, that there's like some new information out. But if I say something weird or out of character, just know, I was younger and foolish back then. I didn't know what I was doing. Which is why I encourage you to comment if you have any corrections, critiques, or fun facts. It not only helps people who watch this get the right information, but it also helps me be able to research more thoroughly in my future videos. And if you like this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and lock your doors. The police already questioned me about the whole neighbor thing. We're in this together, okay? I told them I don't know where the body is. I just need you to do the same, okay? Also, for the sake of clarity, my Killer series, which is what you're watching right now, and my Survivor series that I also have doing, they're separate things. So if I explain one fandom in the Survivor series and I explain another in the Killer series, then I'm gonna explain them fully. But since this is a series after all, if I reference something in like my Jason video and then it comes up again in like a 1x video, then in the 1x video I'm just gonna say, if you want to hear more about that, then just go to my Jason video. So since these are series, then I'm gonna be doing it like that. Does that make sense? I don't know. If it doesn't, then comment it or something. And of course, if you don't know who I am, I'm a taco of sunglasses. Coolkidd was a fairly notorious hacker in 2014. It was an alt account created by another hacker, 007in7. 007in7 used that account to primarily hack Roblox games like Natural Disaster Survival and Work at a Pizza Place, before he just started using his main account to also cause destruction in those games. He did this with a script called CoolGUI, which allowed the hacker to fly around, disable gravity, unanchor everything, but it also allowed them to change textures on every object in the game. You could switch the texture to whatever you want, but if you didn't, the texture would be a picture of Coolkidd's avatar. This made Coolkidd basically an advertisement at the time, as their avatar had Join Team Coolkidd plastered over the front. Joining Team Coolkidd would allow you access to the CoolGUI script. In Forsaken lore, Coolkidd is the son of 007in7, rather than just an alt account. There's even custom voice lines and a custom animation if you kill an 007 as Coolkidd. They did some other lore changes and stuff. Coolkidd actually has a lot of lore attached to them. I'm not planning to cover it all, but I am gonna go over the more important stuff in the Milestone skins. The default Coolkidd skin is fairly bland. To be fair, they didn't have too much to work with. In Forsaken, Coolkidd has a weird fleshy design, while also having voice lines to confirm the fact that the Coolkidd character in Forsaken is indeed a kid. Also this post that confirms that Coolkidd is 10 years old. For the sake of some of these changing in Coolkidd skins, Coolkidd has 3 abilities. Corrupt Nature, which has Coolkidd throw a brick or something. It slows down survivors and highlights them if it hits. His second ability is Walk Speed Override, which is a charged rush ability that has Coolkidd change their walk speed and attack whoever he hits with a firebrand. The firebrand being one of the swords from Swordfight Over the Heights. I'm gonna assume you know who made that game. Coolkidd's last ability is Pizza Delivery, which has Coolkidd spawn in 2 minions to chase down and track survivors. This is Coolkidd's only tracking ability, and it's super unreliable, making Coolkidd the worst tracker in the game. The minions can be pretty annoying for survivors though, sometimes. One thing I want to mention before I go on to the actual skins, CoolGUI had a tool to blast music throughout the entire server via a song ID. If you didn't add a song ID and use the one that would already be there, the remix of Spooky Scary Skeletons by the Living Tombstone would play. In Forsaken, they used the same motif from that song in Coolkidd's chase theme. Coolkidd's milestones don't really reference anything. I'll try to talk about them as much as I did Jason's, but that'll probably just lead to me jumping to conclusions. You may notice that Coolkidd's default design is purely red, making him kind of look like a skinned man, or a demon. His milestones expand upon the latter, giving him small devil horns and a demon tail. This skin also makes the advertisement on his chest more dark and easy to read, making it seem a little more like how Coolkidd's actual text is. So in Forsaken lore, the main big bad is the Spectre. I really don't want to talk about them, not because they're uninteresting or anything, it's just that the Spectre's lore is scattered everywhere, and Forsaken, the ARG, the Discord server, to explain the Spectre would be like trying to find the One Piece, so I'm just not gonna do it. Maybe I'll cover it in a video when we have some more lore on him. But for now, just think of the Spectre as the entity in Dead by Daylight, a being who's all-powerful in their respective realm. The Spectre's realm being Forsaken, of course. This is pretty similar to the last milestone. Besides from giving Coolkidd a cape, it also gives him a glitchy aura effect that appears and disappears around him. The effect is pretty similar to how the cool GUI looked, a black box with a red outline. I want to say the addition of the cape is kinda cool, as I can think of at least 2 games that also give Coolkidd a cape. So back to the Spectre, they can pull people or entities out of other Roblox games and pull them into the world of Forsaken. The same thing happened to Coolkidd, where they were out big chilling when suddenly they were kidnapped by the Spectre and brought into the trials. There in the world of Forsaken, his skin grew into the weird fleshy design we see in game. Milestone 3 changes Coolkidd quite a bit, amplifying the glitch effect while also giving them wings and some armbands. The Milestone 3 and 4 also change his kill animations, so instead of snapping the survivor's neck, he simply throws them behind him, and then proceeds to use hacks to burn them to death. It's actually pretty sick. And of course, there's a custom animation when you kill an 007 in 7 as Milestone 3 or 4. So in lore, when Coolkidd was brought into the Spectre's realm, the Spectre took advantage of their young age and brainwashed him, having Coolkidd think he's just playing a game of tag with the survivors instead of killing them. These milestones seem to have Coolkidd figure out what he's doing, kind of. Coolkidd knows he's just killing people at this point, which is why he's using cool GUI to do it instead of himself. The unique 007 in 7 animation is pretty strange, as Coolkidd doesn't actually use cool GUI. I mean, it pops up, but Coolkidd is too busy hugging his father to actually be using it. Meaning either he did it telepathically or the Spectre did it for him. Milestone 4 shares the same traits that Milestone 3 has, same kill animations and stuff. Also, I forgot to mention this about his 3rd milestone, but his firebrand is replaced by a weird sickle thing. In the files, it's called a whip for some reason. I don't really know why. Anyways, the 4th milestone essentially Herobrine-ifies Coolkidd, while also lightly burning him on the edges. These milestones are going to change soon. Not a redesign or anything, they're just going to add voice lines, and hopefully a custom chase theme, as Milestone 4 Coolkidd is currently the only milestone to not have a unique chase theme. So back to lore, the milestones have Coolkidd forget they're playing tag and now they're just killing people. You could say it's because of how long Coolkidd has been in the trials, or the fact that the firebrand he wields is corrupting him. It doesn't really matter, at least to me it doesn't. I'm more of a skin lover than a lore lover. Man, I love skin. Anyways, on to Coolkidd's non-milestone skins. This skin gives Coolkidd his original design back when he was plastered over every tile surface. This skin does kind of have lore then. So before Coolkidd got Forsakened, he looked like this. I would talk about like what events happened before he was Forsakened, but I'll probably just save that for 007 and 7 when I eventually cover them. But this skin really is just what he looked like before the Spectre kidnapped him. I do want to say that before Coolkidd was Forsakened, he was still an exploiter. Basically, he was destroying work at a pizza place and natural disaster survival before he looked like a skinned man. One last thing about this skin is, it has custom pizza delivery minions, making them look more like Coolkidd's original appearance as well. The dictionary describes whimsical as playfully quaint or fanciful, especially in an appealing or amusing way. This kind of describes a child, which in Forsaken, Coolkidd very much is, giving him a propeller hat and replacing his firebrand with a cartoonishly big lollipop. It's kind of just a meme for innocent creatures to have these two items, as a propeller hat displays whimsy and naivety, while a lollipop generally displays a sweet tooth. Like a lot of cheaper skins, this is an original design that showcases a theme. This skin really confuses me. While yes, it is a pool theme, is there really any reason why he has this skin? Maybe it's because Coolkidd kinda sounds like Pool Q? Anyways, pool is a fairly common game that you can play if you have a billiards table. There's a lot of different game modes of pool, but all of them involve getting the balls on the table into the pockets at the edges of the table. The purchase quote says bank shot, which is when you hit a ball into a wall where it ricochets off and gets into one of the pockets. I can't believe I just explained pool. Anyways, this is the third sports themed skin we've seen, the others being Hockey Star and All-Star. Also, this skin replaces Coolkidd's firebrand with a classic brigand sword. A sword released in the marketplace by Roblox as a gear. It essentially worked as a normal Link sword, but just looked cooler. This gives Coolkidd a cult member-esque appearance, as in lore, the group of members of Team Coolkidd seem to mimic that of a standard cult, with more destruction and less purple juicy juice. It gives him a toy knife as well as pants. I will say that the render of the Milestone foreskin shows less detailed versions of the skin surrounding Coolkidd, so this supports the fact that this skin is the average attire of a member of Team Coolkidd. Other than that, this skin is just a cult member theme. Another theme, this one giving Coolkidd a nerd appearance, as well as whitewashing him. This one matches, I guess, because Coolkidd is a kid, and kids go to school. So I am 100% confident that you know what this is referencing, even if you are really young. The only really interesting thing about this skin is the icon for it. It shows Coolkidd getting bullied by Zombie King, which is a killer that's going to be added into Forsaken later in its life. This skin just makes Coolkidd look dapper, which just means to look snazzy and well kept. He's rocking a fedora and a sleeveless suit. His purchase quote implies that even in all this heat, Coolkidd is still a kid and goes on playdates. The render shows Coolkidd in the Iron Cafe, which is a game by Iron Enforcer. It was a pretty popular hangout back in the day. It's even in Block Tales. It got deleted multiple times though, as a lot of people used it for online dating, which is pretty stupid, but I get why. Wait, why is he even there then? This skin is based off the weirdly strict dad from the game Weird Strict Dad, a game made by Bluudud Studios in 2022. It's a game where your dad gets possessed by an evil dude outside your house, and you have to survive the night while avoiding both your dad and the evil guy outside your home. The game kinda sucks, as you have to manage a hunger and thirst meter throughout the game a lot. You only have to survive for 10 minutes or so, but your character seems to be constantly starving and thirsty at every possible moment, which makes this game pretty annoying. I never beat it, nor have I met anyone that actually really wants to or anything. The purchase quote is even referencing YouTuber Bredian, who made a video on this game titled Worst Roblox Horror Game. This render for this skin shows the Weird Strict Dad with noodles, which is what you have to constantly eat in-game. The skin also gets rid of all of Coolkidd's voice lines, which is pretty neat. I do wonder if they will ever rework this skin, as it really is just Coolkidd with some new paint on him. It really only looks weird where his face is located. Going back to themes, this skin just makes Coolkidd look cooler, giving him a skateboard and glasses. This doesn't really reference anything, unless you count Coolkidd's name being Coolkidd, and this skin trying to capitalize off the cool part of his name. I had a dream that this skin changed his walk speed override animation to make him ride his skateboard, and I haven't been any more disappointed when I woke up. This skin gives Coolkidd pajamas that closely resemble the Draco Bloxer. Back in the early days of Roblox, there was a type of genre of game called Build to Survive, where you use trowels and basic building tools to build a base to survive whatever threat the game title suggested, varying from basic zombies to Freddy Fazbear. The Draco Bloxer was created when user Papa Smurf wanted to make a Build to Survive game where you survive against dinosaurs, as there wasn't one at the time. The game became fairly popular, especially the Draco character, which is in a variety of other games. You'll recognize their head attached to the reef over the fireplace in Forsaken. They're even planned as an upcoming killer in a later update. As for why Coolkidd is wearing Draco Bloxer pajamas, I think it originated as a trend to draw Coolkidd in these pajamas, kinda drawing him as a toddler as well. The Forsaken art community is very active, so I'm sure this trend just sparked enough that the devs included it as an official outfit. No, I might actually be completely wrong here though. This skin makes Coolkidd cosplay as 3 other killers: John Doe, 1X, and Jason. This means this skin actually counts as 3 skins, as it randomly chooses which killer Coolkidd will be cosplaying at the beginning of each round. There really isn't anything special about the appearances of these skins, each one just giving Coolkidd a different bag on his head depending on the killer he's cosplaying. The only one that has a little bit more to it is the 1X cosplay, as it gives him some cardboard ribs. The designs don't matter too much though, as the interesting thing about this skin is that it changes Coolkidd's voice lines to mimic that of the killer he's mimicking. For Jason, he just makes his kill sound. As for the other 2 killers, Coolkidd impersonates the voice lines of the 2 anime-themed skins that both John Doe and 1X have: Demon King,
I'm towing out!
I'm cooling out!
and Betrayed.
There's only one left. How dubious.
There's only one left! How?
Coolkidd comes from a fan character concept suggested by @AzureWraiths on Twitter. It themes Coolkidd around Kool-Aid, which is just a brand of drink with a pretty recognizable mascot. Also, this is its own character and has its own lore. I'll show some cliff notes on screen right now if you want to know more about this thing. I originally thought Coolkidd was just Kool-Aid themed before I even knew about Forsaken. I don't really know why. He's really just red, but maybe. Maybe we'll get a duo matching skin whenever a Cool Killer comes out. Coolkidd has unique models for both his pizza minions and his corrupt nature, having them both be more Kool-Aid themed. Nightmare is based on Coolkidd from the Robloxia Until Dawn, a game by Exo the Fox and I Speak Java. It was made in 2024, only released a few months before Forsaken. The game is heavily inspired by Sonic.exe The Disaster, another Roblox game that was so good that it was taken down by Sega. The game is pretty fast paced, everyone having infinite stamina. However, everyone's abilities being way more powerful compared to how they are in Forsaken. The only way to avoid a killer is by jumping up at the right time, using your ability, or getting to another player so they can use their ability. In the Robloxia Until Dawn, Coolkidd is older than the one in Forsaken, being 18 or so. His lore involves Builderman being harsh and evil towards him, to a point where Coolkidd became evil and just started screwing around with all the games that Builderman likes. His eyes also look like that because apparently Telemon, aka Shaletsky, cut it in a duel. The skin has custom pizza delivery minions, and also has Coolkidd hold his firebrand while he runs, which is a reference to how Coolkidd in Trude holds his knife. Cupcakes is a direct reference to a My Little Pony creepypasta titled Cupcakes. It was a pasta made by 4chan user Sergeant Sprinkles before being moved to creepypasta.com. It's what you would expect from a 2012 My Little Pony creepypasta. It starts with Rainbow Dash meeting with PinkyPie at the candy house they have, I guess. PinkyPie says something like,
I need your help making cupcakes.
and Rainbow Dash agrees, of course, which PinkyPie responds by giving Rainbow Dash a cupcake. Rainbow Dash asks if it's a taste test, and PinkyPie says,
Sorta, now eat it.
Rainbow Dash eats it before going to sleep immediately, because apparently Rainbow Dash just got roofied by PinkyPie. I didn't really want to read anymore, because I just got really bored. This is at like the second page. I pulled through for you guys though, so you better thank me for giving you a summarized version. There's not really much to explain though, after that. The following 5 pages just describe Rainbow Dash getting tortured by PinkyPie with various objects. I'm just going to put a paragraph from this here so you could go through a little bit of the pain I had to reading this thing.
Aw, don't go yet, Dash.
She started pulling out the rest of the organs, stopping at each one.
I know I can be a real pain to see is, but you know I'm just kidding with you. You really gotta learn to liver it up. Boy, these jokes are getting bladder. Guess you gotta develop a stomach for them.
She placed the discarded body parts into a bucket, keeping the last one for a bit longer.
Ooh, bagpipes.
She said, placing the tube in her mouth and the organ in her armpit. A spurt of acid hitting her tongue.
Ew. Oh hey, there's your cupcake, Rainbow Dash.
This story is actually really good. It's really just a gore fest that a lot of creepypastas during this time also were. At the end of the creepypasta, PinkyPie tears a piece of Rainbow Dash off along with taking a piece of some of her other friends and makes an apron or something? I don't know. It ends there, and the creator later says that Cupcakes is the most infamous thing to come out of the fandom, which is wrong, because this is. Either way, this skin for Coolkidd has him wearing pieces of Forsaken Survivor like PinkyPie did, as well as giving him undead pizza minions. The chase theme for the skin was taken from the song Ready to Die by Andrew WK, which was used in an animation for the creepypasta Cupcakes. Bluudud is an entirely original character made by BaconStrips125, who also voices him. I'm gonna go over the references in this skin before talking about the actual character, but the actual character really just seems like a color swap version of Coolkidd. First, they use a lollipop that was used in the Whimsical skin, making the skin a little sillier than Coolkidd. The creator of Bluudud said that he's a streamer and likes to stream games, which explains why his chase theme uses samples from Germa985, a streamer I talked about during my Jason skin segment. This skin is also the first to have an emote attached to it, which is the Monster Mash. A dance your Roblox character would do if it ever drank a Monster Mash potion. I originally had a bit here where I would list off every fact and lore bit that Bluudud has, but I decided to scrap it as it was just taking up a lot of this video. Just know that for the bit, I did go to Dairy Queen and I did give them a picture of Bluudud. So I'm going to talk about Bluudud's world later in my Survivor series whenever I cover 007 in 7, as there's a skin for Bluudud's mom, 11808, who Bluudud has custom voice lines with.
Sorry, Mama, but you can't team in this game.
This skin turns Coolkidd into PrettyPrincess, another completely original character that's just a palette swap, made by user Orini Osum. It replaces Coolkidd's firebrand with a goddamn evil stick looking thing. Okay, here's an editor's note. The evil stick that I mentioned is actually an official Roblox item released in 2013. It's a gear, and the gear is called PrettyPrincess Scepter. So yeah, that's a reference, I guess. The skin's peak, I don't know what I'm talking about. And also gives her custom voice lines. The voice lines are pretty good, but they used to sound a little different. I'll play them side by side here.
The world gets a little prettier, one person at a time. Think of this as an act of grace. What do you mean they didn't like it? It's proper etiquette to respect your hostess.
Like Bluudud, they have custom pizza delivery minions and also an emo of her own, which is the Tito Kasan dance, in the music video for Tito Territory by LeMaze P. I'm being a little unfair here as there's a little bit more of a theme here rather than just being themed off a color. PrettyPrincess kind of takes some stuff from the Roblox teapot. The teapot is a series of models on Roblox that's seen a lot in hats and stuff. It's mostly popular for the Roblox game Dodge the Flying Teapots of Doom, a game by Clockwork who I hope to talk about him more in the future. The teapot replaces the brick that Coolkidd throws in his corrupt nature, and you could also maybe make the argument that PrettyPrincess's head is shaped like a teapot, maybe? Anyways, PrettyPrincess does have their own chase theme. It doesn't have Germa 985 in it though, so it's objectively worse than Bluudud's. Like Bluudud, PrettyPrincess has a parent of their own, being 226W6. I'm not gonna go over their lore just because I don't really want to, but just know that 226W6 is a skin for 007 in 7, which PrettyPrincess has custom voice lines with whenever she kills them. Like Vanity Jason, the skin gives the killer an appearance from a music video, being Color and Electricity by Museship. The skin having a unique chase theme that's a remix of the original song. YouTube copyright is a little weird, but I'll play just like a teensy little bit of them side by side so you get the gist. The song is from a Japanese artist and uses Vocaloid in the cover. The story in the song is a little hard for me to keep track of in this, but it kind of just seems like this cat thing that Coolkidd takes the appearance of, trying to get electricity from other colors, and when they collect these colors they add it to their neck. They're missing the color yellow though, so when they see a child in a yellow raincoat, they of course eat the child to get the color yellow, but children don't have yellow blood, believe it or not, so the cat monster just got confused when he was dyed red instead of yellow. In Forsaken, the Coolkidd skin does have the color yellow, meaning they probably just like ate a lemon or something rather than a child. This skin also gives Coolkidd custom pizza minions, which is nice. Masked Man originates from Mother 3, an RPG released in 2006, pretty much exclusive to Japan. It was developed by two companies, HAL Laboratories and Brownie Brown, being published by Nintendo, which is why we have Lucas in Smash. Mother 3 is the third installment in the Earthbound series, and Masked Man is a pretty big part in it. I don't really want to spoil anything about this character, as Mother 3 is a game I really recommend you play, or just watch somebody play. In the game, a pig-masked army invades the protagonist's hometown, the protagonist being Lucas, and Lucas has to team up with friends to stop them. The Masked Man is a leader of the pig-masked army, and in Forsaken, his pizza delivery minions even spawn 2 pig masks. The skin also changes all of his sound effects to be from Mother 3, even having a custom chase theme with a Mother 3 sound font, and a pretty cool motif that you might recognize. In the original game, the Masked Man has both a sword and an arm cannon, which this skin takes advantage of fully, changing Coolkidd's firebrand into his lightning sword, and changing his corrupt nature to be a projectile from his arm cannon. This, plus a lot of other Survivor skins, were released during Earthbound's anniversary, this one in particular being the coolest in my opinion. This skin gives Coolkidd the appearance of an Undertale AU character, Dustbelief Papyrus. I don't really want to explain all of Undertale, just cause you probably know what that is. If you don't know what Undertale is, I recommend watching a YouTuber you like play it, cause they probably have played it. I mean, even Pope Francis got a copy of Undertale, so... This skin doesn't originate from canon Undertale, of course. It comes from an author who made an alternate universe of Undertale titled Dusttale. which is an alternate timeline where Sans Undertale goes mad crazy after the genocide route happens too many times, and he just starts killing everyone. Eventually, Papyrus kills his brother Sans, thus making Papyrus all cool and edgy, and making him want to kill the main character Frisk. The cool thing about this skin is that it changes the pizza delivery minions into amalgamates, which are essentially failed experiments in the actual Undertale, and I'm sure are lore important in Dusttale. The Savior skin is kind of in a weird spot right now, as it's actually slowly decaying. It used to have a pretty fun chase theme, but it got removed due to dev drama. And Savior's corrupt nature, which used to be a red bone, is now broken to a point where it's just a red square. At least the unique sound effects still work, which I'll play now.
That's a wonderful idea.
As you can see, most of them are just sound effects from Undertale. I want to mention before I move on to the next skin, that a lot of these more expensive skins are kind of mentioned as their own characters. Like in lore, it just kind of seems like this version of Papyrus made it in Forsaken, similar to these two. It's a little weird, but all you need to know is, in lore, this isn't Coolkidd, it's actually just Papyrus. The origin to this skin is a little weird. I'm not in this fandom, so I may pronounce something wrong. This skin originates from a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Roblox game. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is a pretty old anime with a lot of memes attached to it. All you really need to know though is that a lot of the main cast of that anime have stands, which is essentially the power to summon a powerful being by your side. Kinda like a Pokemon, I guess. I already know that you're probably gonna get mad at me for saying that. Roblox user A Guest to Blame made a game based on JoJo's Bizarre Adventure where you could pick stands and fight whoever you wanted. It was a Battlegrounds type game, I'm pretty sure. The game is privated as of me recording this, so I don't really know how accurate I'm being right now. Anyways, there was a stand you could get in that game called One More Time. It was based on a JoJo meme that used a clip from Tom and Jerry, where Tom wears a suit and tries to impress some other cat. The meme just added JoJo sound effects to it. In the Roblox game, the stand gave you the suit that Tom wears, as well as making you pretty powerful, I think. In Forsaken, his walk speed override animation changes so he does a spin that you could do in Bizarre Day, as well as having Coolkidd do the Tom scream every time he is stunned.
We have a job, boys.
Don Sonellino, aka Mafioso, is a somewhat original character, similar to Bluudud and PrettyPrincess. But instead of being just themed off a color, Mafioso is of course themed after the Mafia. It gives him completely custom animations, custom voice lines, unique start and win animations, pretty much unique everything. Mafioso is a canon character in Forsaken, similar to Bluudud and PrettyPrincess, but he differs in a sense as in lore, he has not been Forsaken, but is still like canon, I guess. His lore mainly revolves around Chance, and how Chance owes him money, a very common Mafia trope. This whole skin is just a Mafia theme. It replaces his corrupt nature with a book, like he's throwing the book at someone, and also replaces the pizza minions with mob goons. The skin also has a custom snap emote. I'm not gonna talk about the skin much, as it's just a theme, and I don't really care for theme skins. If you know what the Mafia is in media, then you already know everything about this. Here's the thing though. This skin is actually a replacement for another Mafioso skin. The whole reason this skin exists comes from a partnership with Dream Game, a game by Vertical Ascent that is kind of a surreal, Humaniki-esque game. There's a character in the game called Squire, and for the Forsaken and Dream Game collab, they had a Mafioso skin for Coolkidd that took the appearance of Squire. It had retro animations as well as the ability to throw bunnies at people. It was a pretty awesome skin. Unfortunately, the Dream Game devs pulled their partnership from Forsaken, having all the Dream Game skins be removed from the game. Everyone loved Mafioso though, so instead of flat out removing him, they redesigned him and gave him a fresh new look, completely separating him from Dream Game. Kinda. There are still some voice lines that Mafioso says that come from Dream Game.
I love knocking out teeth.
I love knocking out teeth.
Overall, this skin pretty much completely changes Coolkidd. Think of this as basically its own killer. Everything from model, sound, animation is completely unique. It even used to have different hitboxes for some reason. And covering all of it would make this segment way longer than I'd like to talk about it. I don't really know anything about this, so forgive me if I get something wrong. But I really don't think I will, because I did some pretty good research on this. So, Diva Dayo originates from Captain Crunch cereal, a brand of cereal that you've probably seen before.
Hello everybody, I am Grim, also known as NoOne.exe, aka the Forsaken Wiki co-owner, and the main coder of the wiki. After knowing for a fact that Taka was going to mess up this segment horribly, I took it upon myself to definitely not hack onto his YouTube account and record it myself. Diva Dayo is a Coolkidd skin releasing on August 31st, but has been released via giveaways on the official Forsaken Discord server stages, or by joining a specific game that gave a badge that was only open for 1 day, which is how most people got it. Diva Dayo is a more chibi version of Diva, who has her own 1x skin and will be hopefully talked about more in depth in another video. She's an alternate version of Hatsune Miku, who used her fame and glory to help other singers that are not as well known become popular. It worked so well, in fact, that the world completely forgot about her, and she went into like a deep depression. But this will be explained a lot more in future videos. Diva aka Miku is what's known as a Vocaloid, which is kind of like a voice box that needs to be put into a software to create music. These synthesizers will use a real person's voice, usually saying like words and vowels, and putting effects on it to allow people who don't want to sing but still want to make music to be able to make their own music with lyrics. If I were able to explain Hatsune Miku and why she's popular and how synthesizers work, we would be here all day. But there are great videos online that explain about these stuff like way more in depth, so I'd recommend watching those. After this video, of course. Diva Dayo's name is from a popular Miku name, Miku Dayo, who was a chibified Miku costume made for a Sega event in Japan, and also was a figure. This granted a popular cult following in Japan, growing her popularity even more. This design, though, comes from Diva's debut, The Weak Voice of a Diva, where she appears dancing in the background of the last stand of the song. This skin doesn't primarily use Diva's lore, but her voice lines have some little snippets and Easter eggs up for it. Muse being the dead zombified puppet name of Akita Niru. These zombified puppets will also be more explained in another video, but while still being on the topic, her minions that she calls operatives are most likely based off how Diva's first victim was Kasumi Taito, who was died and burnt alive in their first encounter. But operatives being the zombified puppet versions of those characters. So you would probably be friends with Springtrap at this point, due to how much fire is used. Last fun little fact on the skin being the third skin to canonically swear. First being Scenecore Shirt, second being Vanity Jason's Last Man Standing, and Diva Dayo being third with Roblox censoring her swears. Anyways, that's Diva Dayo. It's a really nice skin, and it's my favorite Coolkidd skin. But while I still have time, before I go, you guys should completely subscribe to me.
And the movie just kind of ends there, with the two main characters getting married. I never really liked Food Fight, but I'm pretty sure Diva Dayo originates from it, so sorry I spent so long explaining it. Okay, that's my video. Sorry if I sound a little different here because I'm a little tired. There's a few skins in this video that it really seems like I hate. I don't really though. In fact, I use PrettyPrincess a lot in game just because I really like their music. They're good skins. My only issue with them is their original characters. They have their own lore and everything, which makes them pretty hard to explain, as there's not too much to reference. But there's a lot to cover in lore, and that's not really fun for me to script out and talk about. Again, they're not bad skins. And if I did think they're bad, then who am I? You're the player after all, and you could pick whichever skin you think looks cool. Because at the end of the day, that's the whole point of the skins in Forsaken, to look cool. So try not to let me change your opinion on a skin, because I'm gonna be honest with you, my opinions kinda suck. Anyways, if you liked the video, then like it. My next killer video is gonna be on 1x, but you're probably gonna have to wait a bit for it, as I plan to release 2 Survivor videos in my Survivor series before I get back to this. Speaking of Survivor series, Shaletsky won the poll, so And I'm thanks, I guess. That video is probably gonna take me a while to finish. It's probably, give me at least like 20 days. It's not gonna take that long though. I'll try to release something in the middle of the wait, but no promises. I'm gonna come out of that Shaletsky video with gray hairs. It's gonna be stressful to edit that down. The video I release after this though won't be the Shaletsky video, like I said. I plan on releasing something else. It's not gonna be Forsaken related, but it is gonna be another Roblox game. If you like me yapping, then you'll like that video, so check it out. Okay, this is the part in the video when I thank people. First, I want to thank the wiki. They helped me a lot gather sources and resources in this. Even though this information is probably a little outdated because I made it kind of a while ago. But they really came in with the alley-oop. It was kind of crazy. Then I want to thank the co-owner of the wiki, of course, helping me with this video. I'm not really that crazy with Vocaloid, so I was probably going to get something wrong anyways. So thank you so much. I'll link their Twitter right here and I'll link it in the description below. Go check them out. I'm sure they have something cooking up for you. And then I want to thank Goopy Chip. They helped in my Little Pony segment. They voiced a pretty good Pinkie Pie, so you know I had to ask them. So go check them out. And then I want to thank Dexnox for music. He made some bangers I use in like the background music for this video. And then I want to thank StarClone. He drew the little thumbnail icons on the top right of this video. I thought that would be nice if I could separate these two series, Killers and Survivors. So now, judging by that little icon, you could very quickly tell if it's a Survivor video or a Killer video, so thank them. And also, StarClone helped me with gameplay, so thank you for that. Other people who helped me with gameplay are Goopy Chip, Ari HFJ, Chair, and Aya of the Stars. And of course I want to thank Forsaken. Thanks for making a game I really enjoy. I've been really liking Forsaken, and I've been playing it way too much. It'd be so nice if you gave me every skin. That'd make me really happy. Anyways, since you made it to the end of the video, I want to thank you specifically. It means a lot to me that you'd watch this fully. It's fine if you skip ahead at any point, because at the end of the day, we're just talking about skins here. But thank you. It really means a lot to me that you'd watch this. Also, maybe we hit 10k at the time I uploaded this. I don't know. If we do hit 10k in my next video, I'll be really happy, and I'll give you a cake or something. I don't know. You weren't getting anything though, because we haven't hit 10k. You can have this lollipop, I guess. I don't know. I don't have cake on me. I don't have anything on me. Okay. Okay. Bye bye.